Hey guys, welcome back to the channel for episode 9 of Beat the Bots on chess.com, which is a series I have here on my channel where I try to beat every bot that's on chess.com, starting with the beginner bots, then the intermediate, advanced, and we'll see if I get to the master. So, in the last episode, we beat the 1200 rated bots, Emir, Elena, and Wilson. And in today's video, we will be beating the next three bots, which is Vin, Nelson, and Jade, who are all 1300 rated. So let's get started with beating Vin. Alright, so the time control, as usual, is going to be 10 minutes, so that the games don't get too long. And we'll play black for the first game, just to see what Vin wants to play. Okay, e4. Now, I have a lot of options here. I can go French defense, Caro-Kann, Sicilian, just a e5 line. I'm going to play the Caro-Kann, just because I'm familiar with it more. Okay, d3 is not the best move. The best move is d4 for white, so that you can get the entire center to yourselves, and I have to not waste some moves, but like I have to spend moves fighting back. But d3 is fine, doesn't lose anything. Alright, knight d2. Yeah, this is definitely not a normal variation. Normal variation is d4, and then knight d2 or like knight c3. Or you could take it, or advanced. There's a lot of variations. Uh, if I go knight f6 now, like an idea in the Caro-Kann that like is very repetitive is like you bring the knight out and then you pin the if there's like a knight here, then you pin it to the queen where the knight defends it. But I can't really go knight f6 right now because then e5. So yeah, that's it. So let's I guess take this. And then we'll go e5 myself, so that we have some center control. Okay, g4 is a weird move. Basically, all you need to do to beat these bots, like these beginner to intermediate bots, is don't blunder anything, and eventually they'll make weird moves. Like if you just like play solid chess, develop your pieces, right, get castled, do that kind of thing. Eventually, they're gonna make moves like this. Like, what is g4? Now I can just attack this with two pieces. Alright, g5. I guess we just go back and start free pawn. Alright, we got the discovered attack here. Whoops. Sorry about that. Oh my god. My arrows are terrible. 3 times in a row. Alright, there we go. I kind of forgot how bishops move, apparently. Alright, so we get hit with the discovered attack, and this pawn is defended. So I can just move the queen all the way back, and we just won a pawn for free, basically. I'm thinking where's the best spot for this knight to go, because this square is taken, so I don't really want to go there. So maybe we go bishop e7, get castled, so that the queen is protected by the rook, and then we like move the knight here, and it's okay if we get a queen trade. Maybe that's the way to go. So we'll see about doing that. Let's castle. Alright. We'll go knight here. It's a more active square. Alright, now our opponent has lost castling rights. And is there any tactics here? Like whenever I see this, I'm wondering if there's like a tactic, but no, the knight can just take back. So, no tactics. Wait a minute. Oh, he went knight there to defend this bishop. Okay. I didn't even see that. I was just like, what is that knight doing? Kind of. But now we get this pawn. So now we're up 2 pawns. Now we're up 3 pawns. We have a much better position. Right? Because our king's castled, we're very safe. And trading is good when you're up 3 pawns. When you're up any amount of pawns, actually. Alright, let's take this and defend this. Okay. Yeah. Defend this. Just make a pawn chain. I see he's attacking my pawn with 2 pieces. So I have to defend it with 2 pieces. Or I could just push it. And pushing it would be a better option in this case. So that we don't have to, tie up pieces that are stuck there. Alright, let's trade. And then we'll go we'll bring the rook here so that if I ever move this knight, then it's gonna be defended. All right. So what he's doing is he's attacking this pawn and saying if I move it, he's gonna take this, but he can't actually take that because it's still defended. So I'm just gonna go here. Yeah, rook c4. Boom. Because now, if you look closely, this pawn is defending both of these, so they're both protected, and this pawn is being defended by the knight. So unless he somehow like sacrifices a rook for a knight, and then takes my pawn, he's not gonna be winning this pawn. Right. So, yeah. Alright, so let's just push some pawns and try to... Okay, there's a knight trade. Or he can just give me the knight. Oh, wait, there's a rook there. Never mind. I thought that was a free knight, but it's not. It's a trade. Okay, this pawn is defended, but I kind of want to push it so that we have all the pawns on, like, dark squares. So I'm going to bring my king up so that's defended. Let's go here. Oh, shoot, my pawn's hanging. Because my knight used to defend it, but the knight's not here anymore, right? So we have to bring somebody in to defend it. All right, rook trades are nice. And then we'll go rook here and then invade. Yeah, we'll still invade because the rook can never come to like the d4. It can never come to the d file and like you see like the only places where the rook can come in through is like the b file and the d file. And the b file it can't go to because this, and the d file it can't go to because this. So the rook can really only go to these light squared files, or not light squared files, but like light square on the fourth rank files. All right, let's go attack this pawn. Now the rook is going to be tied up to defending it, or we can just get it for free. That works too. And then let's go here. Okay, the king's trying to invade, but now I get all these pawns over here. And, okay, maybe not that one. Maybe yes, that one. And then, now we're up 7 pawns? Okay. We're in an endgame where it's rook and king versus rook, king, and 7 pawns. That's a new one. Okay. I mean, I guess we're just gonna push this pawn until we promote it. And if he's gonna try to stop us, then we'll just... Yeah, I'm gonna go here and here. And there's nothing he can do about it. I'm promoting this pawn. Alright, he can throw in a check, but then I just go king g6, and yeah. Here we go. This is check. Is there any checks? Yes, there is. Trade the rooks. There we go. Promote a new queen, or even checkmate with 1 queen. Whichever one is easier. And this should be super easy win. Hold on, let's just make sure we don't stalemate. I actually need to make sure we don't stalemate. Alright. Checks can never be stalemate. And the king can roam around on this side wherever he wants, so it's never going to be stalemate anymore. Promote a new queen. And boom. And checkmate. Alright, with that, we win our first game against Vin. Let's move on to game number 2 against Nelson. Alright, I will be playing as white this game, just to mix things up. Now, I have played Nelson before, and I know that he likes to bring out his queen nice and early. So, let's see if we get, like, the queen f6 stuff. Yep, we do. This is classic Nelson, by the way. He always likes to bring out his queen, and then we can just, like, chase it around however we want, and then he'll have to deal with it, so... That's classic Nelson. I'm just gonna continue developing. Like, this is stupid stuff because bringing out your queen on the second move, it's not gonna do anything, right? You're not gonna be attacking with the queen alone. You have to develop some pieces and then like get castled before you can just bring out a queen. So I'm gonna go here, and I want to go d3. All right, we can trade. That's fine. Now I'll go d3, and he's already down material, right? Because this is a skewer. And I was gonna go bishop g5 anyways. Like, that was my plan to go d3. But I can't go d3 here. Because, I mean, I can. But it wouldn't be a good move because... Oops. Sorry, let me go back. Like, here, if I play d3, it's not a good move because it blocks my own bishop in. And there's no place for me to Vienketo it here because the knight is here. I mean, it's not gonna make sense. So I went d3 to go bishop g5, which wouldn't even be that bad. I mean, he just have to lose his queen. But after this, it's actually a skewer, so you're losing material. Sometimes in this case, when the queen is here, it's a skewer, but it doesn't really matter because you can just like block it with the pawn. But in this case, you can't do that because the queen is right next to the bishop, right? Anyways, let's take the rook. Now we're up in exchange. Let's go. Oh wait, this is a fork, but then there's queen b4. But I guess we can just move back. Then we lose this pawn. So actually, let's not do that. Let's first get castle, and now wait, I don't want to lose this pawn. How do I not? I guess we just defend it. Then we go knight here. Exchanges are good. I do have double pawns here, so my pawn structure is not the best, but we can defend it like this. And even though I have a weak pawn here, his pieces can't really reach it that much. All right, let's kick out the knight. Or just take it for free. I was hoping that because Nelson is 1300, he's gonna do better than that, but not really, I guess. All right, so the exchange right now is what? We're missing 2 pawns. He's missing none. Oh wait, no, we're missing 1 pawn. He's missing none, and I have a rook. So it's a rook for a pawn. Let's go queen here. And all right, we can trade pawns. That's fine. And then I can take this one now, right? You can take that one. Yeah, okay. But now don't I win his rook? Okay. Now I'm just up 2 rooks. I'm up 2 rooks in an endgame, and okay, there goes his queen. Oh wow, he lost a rook and a queen in like 3 moves. 1, 2, 3. In 3 moves, he lost 14 points of material. Like nobody in the world can do that. Okay, just kidding. People in the world can do that, but like you know what I mean, right? All right, I'm just gonna sack my knight because this is mate. Okay, he can escape now because he planned that out, but like, still. Right, I can just sack my rook because... I mean, I just sacked because it's the easiest way to do it, right? Here. Win 2 pawns for a knight. That's in my book. Alright, boom. Yeah, let's just lock him in here so that he can either move his pawns, which I'm gonna take in a minute, or he can just move his king back and forth over here. So, en passant, now you gotta move your king, or I just checkmate you. Alright, promote to a rook with the classic ladder mate, as we do in every single game. Or not every single game, but we've done this at least half of the time, at least 2/3 of the time, I would say, in this series. Alright, with that, we beat the second bot. So let's move on to Jade, who is also 1300, and I will play as the black pieces again. Alright, Jade from Belgium. Alright, Queen's Pawn opening. What are we playing today? Am I feeling lucky? Am I gonna go England Gambit? Or am I feeling like classical chess? I'm feeling lucky. Let's go England Gambit. Okay. You are supposed to accept the Gambit. I don't ever recall having a England Gambit declined variation, but I guess we just take it now and just play this as normal chess where it is. Alright, knight for bishop, that's usually good. I can't put a pawn in the center because the queen and knight will attack it, so I'm gonna continue developing. Standard stuff. Alright, queen e5. Now, a lot of beginners in this position go queen e7, and they're like, oh, I want to trade queens. But queen e7 is not a good move for 2 reasons. One, if they don't trade queens, they go like here or something, or here or whatever, then your bishop is just stuck. So now you have to move your queen again before you can get your bishop out. And 2, in this scenario, actually, that loses a pawn because the c7 pawn would be hanging. So bishop e7 is a lot better. Like, even if the queen was here, sorry, it can't be there. But like, even if the queen was here, let's say, this is still a kind of bad move because like when the queen moves away, they don't have to take, right? They can just move, and now you have to move your queen again before your bishop is active. So that's why bishop e7 is better. All right, let's castle out our way, and then let's play some chess. So bishop d6, queen f5. Okay, now when I see this, where the queen is lined up with my bishop, I see, is there any tactics? Right now, no, because my pawn is locked in. But like after I move my bishop here, is there any tactics? Like if there was a knight here, then I could go d5, like after my bishop has moved, and this would be a double threat because the queen is also being attacked. So you gotta look for those little things. All right, yeah, d5 here is possible because the queen can't take. The knight protects it. Right, so the queen has to move, and then we can like take this. It's a trade, but yeah,